to.
But that makes me, you're not taking care of yourself and your baby.
My baby is fine.
How do you know? If you fell and hit your head and they wanted you to go get checked out at the hospital, then how do you know she's fine or he's fine? You don't know.
Welcome back to the channel, where we dive into some of the most intense, jaw-dropping courtroom moments caught on camera. Today's case is one that will leave you torn between sympathy and frustration. We're looking at the story of Trees Butcher, a young woman facing sentencing while 6 months pregnant, already a mother to a 3-year-old, and struggling with drug addiction. On paper, she's on probation for burglary and unauthorized use of a vehicle, but in reality, she's battling far more: drug relapse, failed rehab, new charges, and a history of violence while incarcerated. The judge is about to confront her with contradictions, broken promises, and the dangerous spiral of choices that not only put her freedom at risk but also jeopardize the safety of her unborn child. Is this a story of redemption waiting to happen, or a tragic cycle that no amount of second chances can fix? Stick around, because you're about to see a sentencing hearing unlike any other, filled with emotional pleas, sharp judicial takedowns, and a harsh reality check about the consequences of addiction.
See, Mr. Rojas, you've got Trees Butcher. It's a sentencing. Good morning. Are you Trees Butcher?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is cause numbers 24 DCCR 1732 and 24 DCCR 1733. Ms. Butcher is on probation in each of those cases. One for burglary of a habitation, which was a 5-year deferred, and also an unauthorized use of a vehicle. And there were motions to adjudicate filed in each of those cases. And Ms. Butcher was previously here, pled true to counts 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I've received the updated report. This was not agreed. Has everyone received that and reviewed the report?
We have, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Are there any additions or corrections?
No, Your Honor. Not from the state.
And what is this?
Here we see one of the central issues in this case. The defendant left a rehabilitation facility, supposedly to deal with outstanding warrants. But the official report from Santa Maria Rehab tells a very different story, stating that she left simply because she changed her mind. That's a massive contradiction. Judges and prosecutors don't take kindly to conflicting explanations, because in the justice system, credibility is everything. Once your story doesn't line up with the official record, it's almost impossible to regain trust. What do you think? Was she genuinely trying to handle her warrants? Or was this just another excuse?
The new case is out of Harris County.
She was placed on
Probation, right?
probation and sent to the Santa Maria Rehabilitation Facility.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And that's true, Judge. She was sent to Santa Maria through probation at Harris County. And as the PSI points, or the updated PSI points out, she left that facility. I spoke with her about that. She left that facility because there were open warrants out of Jefferson County. She wanted to take care of those warrants, not because she didn't want the help provided there. She tells me she does want to go back to the Santa Maria facility, and there they will help. She's got a 3-year-old son, in addition to being 6 months pregnant right now. And the facility is a facility that will allow her to bring her 3-year-old with her, as well as she will keep the newborn once that newborn is she's giving birth. And she does want the help that Santa Maria can provide, and she's willing to go back there. And that's where she wants the newborn to be once he's born, or she is born. As far as what she wants to do with her life, she told me she was working in the healthcare industry in the past, and she wants to go get her CNA licensing, and she wants to continue doing that when she gets out. She does have a letter she wants to read to you, Judge, and I think if this is the appropriate time, she wants to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Dear Honor, I have been in jail since April 29, 2025. I left the rehab because I wanted to come back here and turn myself in.
Let me just stop you real quick right there, because the officer called Santa Maria, and the people at Santa Maria, according to what that officer put in this report, said that you left the facility because you changed your mind.
I did not.
Hang on. Quote, Santa Maria is not the best option for me at this time. Are you saying you did not say
I
that?
did not say that. She know why I left because I had a warrant for my arrest and I didn't want the police to pick me up. I couldn't go to the DPS and get my ID and stuff, so I was gonna come back to Port Arthur, turn myself in, and then go from there. But I didn't leave because I didn't want the help. That's why I found out I was pregnant on March 31st. I found out I was pregnant. I was in that rehab. I left because they wanted me to go to get my ID, and I couldn't go there because I had a warrant out for my arrest.
Okay, so
This is where the judge drives the point home. Even after discovering she was pregnant, the defendant still engaged in dangerous behavior, evading arrest, assaulting a public servant, and striking an unattended vehicle. And her explanation? She was on drugs. For the court, that's not a justification. It's an admission of reckless disregard for both herself and her unborn child. Think about that for a moment. A woman who says she wants help, but instead of reporting to probation or seeking treatment, ends up committing new felonies while carrying a baby. Should pregnancy be seen as a reason for leniency, or does it make the offenses even more severe?
you found out you were pregnant in March,
Yes.
and then you went and committed an evading arrest with a vehicle, a duty on striking an unattended vehicle, and an aggravated assault against a public servant a month later after you found out you were pregnant?
I was on drugs, Your Honor.
While you were pregnant?
Yeah, I made the mistake of leaving the rehab and I got on drugs, and the next few days later I got arrested.
But you said you made the mistake of leaving the rehab, but you said you left the rehab to come and turn yourself
Yeah.
in. So
So
you
I
didn't
bought a
leave the
bus-
hang on. So you didn't leave the rehab to come turn yourself in, because if you had, you would have come straight here and turned yourself in, and you wouldn't have these new
I had to
offenses.
catch a bus, so I had to go downtown, wait for the bus to come, and in that time, I caught a charge. I don't want to be separated from my baby, Your Honor. This is my,
So in that time, hold on. So you had left the facility at least by April 17th.
yes,
And then your new charges were April 29th.
yes,
So that's 12 days
Yes.
of waiting on a bus and catching a
I
charge?
didn't have the money, so I got the money together to catch the bus back out here, the Greyhound. And once I got the money, the day I was going downtown, I got arrested for trying to evade the police because I was on drugs. I was scared and I was on drugs.
So all the times that you failed to report to the probation office, March 7th, March 10th, hold on, there was a third one,
March 12th.
March.
The judge is now dissecting her missed probation appointments. And here's the key problem. The defendant claims confusion, saying she thought one missed report meant everything was over. But probation doesn't work like that. You don't just stop showing up because you assume you're revoked. The judge is pointing out that she was given multiple opportunities to comply, but instead, she chose avoidance, and worse, drug use, while pregnant. This isn't just about missing meetings. It's about showing the court that you can't, or won't, follow the simplest of instructions. And when someone already on probation picks up new charges, that failure becomes impossible to ignore.
12th, April 10th.
I
So
never knew I had all those dates after the 7th. After the 7th, I thought I was revoked already. After the first time I did report, I thought I had a warrant out for my arrest, and I went to the rehab.
but you talked to the probation officer
I
between
talked to
then,
her on the 7th.
and you
day.
talked to her ugly.
I got out of jail in March 6th in Harris County. I called her that day. She wanted me to report the next day. I couldn't make it.
Right.
So I guess I talked to her within that week. I don't remember talking to her, but I didn't know that she was giving me more opportunities to report. I would have reported. I thought after the first time that was it.
The reason you probably don't remember all that is because I guess you were using drugs while you were pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was pregnant at first, and then I found out.
but then you kept
And
using drugs.
Yeah. I need help, and Santa Maria is a good place, and they'll offer me mental health service, and I have an autoimmune disease that they offer treatment for. Jefferson County hasn't been giving me the medication for it. And since I've been here 2 days. They haven't given me any medication, so my baby can, yeah. I don't wanna say it out loud what it is, but, I need the help that Santa Maria offers. I don't wanna be separated from my kids any longer. My 3-year-old is with my friend, and I wanna be him to be able to come with me. I just wanna be able to keep my kids with me and get the help I need mentally and with the drugs.
So where do you actually live?
I live on 1825 17th Street,
What city?
Port Arthur.
So Santa Maria is what, 90 days?
It's up to 6 months, 6 months to 18 months.
It was verified through the Harris County Community Supervision Court Liaison that the program is 6 months.
Yeah.
So where did you get the 6 months to 18 months?
They told me at Santa Maria when I was there, it's up to, you can stay up to 18 months.
Mr. Smith?
Judge, I spoke with Misty Hoffman, who's an assistant DA in Harris County, before they sent her to the Santa Maria program. They were thinking about doing that, and she tried to explain to me what it was, and I explained to her. Our intention was not to keep her on probation, it was to seek a revocation in this case. I think everything that she has said up to this point kind of lends credence to the fact that probation is, she's not going to be successful on probation. I think even today, you can see that she gets, according to the PSI, becomes impatient, easily irritated, argumentative, and confrontational. She's been non-compliant basically since she started in on probation and has made no progress and has no plan. This is the first that we've heard that she even has a residence in Port Arthur.
The prosecutor makes a damning case here. Probation isn't working, and it never has. He highlights her impatience, confrontational attitude, and total lack of progress. Notice how he also brings up the sudden revelation that she supposedly has a stable residence, a detail that wasn't disclosed before. That screams inconsistency. The system gave her rehab, probation, and even the chance to stay with her kids while receiving treatment, but her behavior suggests she isn't serious about recovery. This is the kind of statement that usually pushes a judge closer to revocation. What's your take? Should probation continue, or is prison the only option left?
We had no idea that she had any kind of residence in Jefferson County. She didn't have one prior to this, so I don't even know whose house this is.
So here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Talking over people,
Sorry.
being confrontational with your probation officer is not going to get you anywhere. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have, what's the place in Port Arthur that you have to live?
It's a home. It's a house.
Whose house?
It's my house. I've been renting it
Since when?
since before I got on rehab. I've been using the same address.
Well, but you've
Before I got
told,
probation.
but you told probation that you didn't come back here, but hold on, because you were homeless.
I've never been homeless, ma'am.
You said that in the original pre-sentence
No,
report.
I told her I was at a motel and she assumed I was homeless, but I'm not homeless.
But originally, when I put you on probation,
I gave y'all 1825 17th Street, which is where I live.
if you had a residence here in Jefferson County and you were on probation here in Jefferson County, then why didn't you come back here when you got out like you were supposed to?
I tried to come back, and I did come back. I didn't report because I thought I had a warrant out. I thought I was revoked already.
So
I don't
you
know
were
how
just gonna
this
wait it
works.
out until they came and caught you?
came to turn myself in, and I got arrested. I was going to turn myself in. I didn't
Everything
wanna
you're
be on the
saying,
run.
everything you're saying is conflicting.
How?
Because you're,
I'm here. I'm here.
yeah, you're here in custody and you're just, I think you've told so many lies to everybody that you don't know how to keep up with them.
It's no lie, ma'am.
It's,
I was
it's-
in Houston. I came back, and
You-
I came back March 7th. I was here. I didn't report. I was on drugs.
So you were already here March
I
7th.
was here March 7th. I was here, and then she told me to come in.
So there's no reason on March 7th that you couldn't have, you were talking to her about needed a bus and all this stuff. That was all just lying back then.
No, I was in Harris County. I was in Harris County. I got here March 6th. She told me to report March 7th.
So if you were here March 7th,
Yes. Y'all know I was on drugs.
Our jail reports to the judge.
Can you please give me the help that I need and let me keep my kids?
I put you on probation in the first place to get the help that you need.
Here comes the judge's frustration boiling over. She reminds the defendant that probation was supposed to be her lifeline, a way to get treatment instead of serving prison time. But instead of taking advantage, she picked up 3 new felony arrests, including serious charges like aggravated assault on a public servant. Even if some were later dismissed, the arrests alone show a dangerous pattern. The judge's message is clear: you can't keep crying out for help after breaking the law. Help was already offered. This is where the courtroom tension peaks, the moment where the judge has to decide if rehabilitation is still an option or if enough is enough.
I put you on
Well,
probation.
maybe-
Hang on. I put you on probation for 2 felonies with all the resources we have to help you. And instead of taking advantage of those, you came back, you didn't go ask for help, you just had to show up one time and say, I need help, I'm pregnant, I'm using drugs, I need help. It's easy to say you need help when you've picked up 3 more felonies.
I didn't pick them up. They dismissed them. I only got 1. They dismissed the other ones.
Well, I'm sure that was part of some plea agreement. You still got arrested for
Yes,
3
ma'am.
felonies, serious felonies. Not just little stuff, not a possession case.
Your Honor, please, I do not want to be a felon. I can't complete
Well,
this.
quit committing felonies.
Yes, ma'am. That's because of the drugs. Then I lost a baby last year. I had a stillborn at 7 months pregnant because of drugs. I need help with the drugs and rehabilitation.
Maybe you need to stop getting pregnant for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like one of the jail incidents also involved an assault of another inmate and an attempted threw a bar soap and actually hit one of the correctional officers and tried to swing on one of the other correctional officers.
That is okay.
What
I
that,
never tried to assault a correction officer at this
Okay.
time.
no?
Like jail, prison time, and no.
Let me take a, So why did you refuse to go to the hospital when you fell?
Because I was feeling okay and I had a doctor's appointment coming up. And I was gonna tell her. The last time I told them I slipped and fell, they didn't do anything in the jail, so I was gonna wait till I go to my doctor's appointment.
But they wanted you to go to the hospital to get checked out.
I didn't know they wanted me to go to the hospital. They just had me sitting in the infirmary.
So You supposedly said you fell, you were refusing to go to the hospital.
This plea hits hard. The defendant says she doesn't want to be separated from her children, but the judge immediately points out the obvious. Refusing medical care after a fall, while 6 months pregnant, shows she isn't even protecting the child she already has inside her. This is what makes the case so heartbreaking. On one hand, you see a young mother begging for another chance. On the other, you see a pattern of choices that endanger both her children and herself. It raises the ultimate question: at what point does a mother's right to stay with her kids clash with the court's duty to protect those very kids?
They told you the doctor wanted you to go to the hospital. You said that you would go, but asked if you could go back to your dorm first. And they said, we're not doing all that back and forth. You asked if you would be transported via van or EMS. They said, don't worry about that. Then you said, I refuse, I'm not going to the hospital.
That's when I talked to Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim told me whatever was wrong, I could tell the doctor when I went to the doctor. So that's what I was waiting on.
So they're making it up that that doctor wanted you to go to the hospital.
They wanted me to go, and I told them I wasn't going to wait until...
So, but that makes me, you're not taking care of yourself and your baby.
My baby is fine.
How do you know? If you fell and hit your head and they wanted you to go get checked out at the hospital, then how do you know she's fine and he's fine? You don't know.
No.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Go sit down for a minute. Mr. Rojas, you have Jacoby Chambers. Jody, do you know anything about Santa Maria? Is it locked down? I guess it's not if she left before. But nobody else will take her pregnant that we have, right?
So let's step back. This case is the perfect storm of probation failure, repeated drug use while pregnant, abandoning rehab, missed probation check-ins, new felony arrests, and even violent behavior while incarcerated. The judge has to balance compassion for a young mother against the reality of public safety and personal accountability. It's a brutal reminder that probation is a privilege, not a right, and when you violate it over and over, the consequences only escalate. What do you think? Should the court have shown more mercy, or did the judge make the right call by holding her fully accountable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear where you stand. And if you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns every week.